Hello boys and girls, welcome to the Library for Arts and Crafts. Today we're going to make a three-cornered hat with white curls on it in honor of some of our earliest presidents. This is kind of how George Washington's and Thomas Jefferson's and John Adams' hair looked, and they did wear the three-cornered hats back in those days. Let me show you how to make one. You'll need a large piece of construction paper, and you're going to want to fold it into 3 equal sections, just like this. So now I'm going to cut right on those creases, and then I'll show you how to get that shape for the three-cornered hat. You'll need a stapler and some tape and some white paper too. Now you can put all 3 pieces together, and that way it makes cutting a little faster, but if it's too thick and hard to cut, then just do one at a time. You can draw your line ahead of time that you're going to cut on, or you can do it freehand like me. What you'll want to do is have about 2.5 or 3 inches from the bottom where you start your scissors, and then I just kind of make a nice easy curve up to the center. And I'm making a little hill, and then I'm going to go down the hill and try to come out at the same level. I think that's a little bit higher, so I'm going to even it out with the other side. And now it kind of looks like a pirate hat. I might take a little bit of this off, and there you go. Now, like I said, you could draw that shape ahead of time. You could get mom and dad to help you too, using a pencil or a white crayon or yellow crayon, something that'll show up on black. And then once you cut out each piece, because like I said, I have 3, then you're going to want to staple them together. And you may need to get help with this too. You're going to want to put 2 pieces together at a time. So just put the ends together like that. And then staple maybe 2 inches down, just right there to connect them. And then you're going to open up the sides that aren't stapled, and you're going to put that 3rd piece there, line them up, and take your stapler, and once again staple a couple of inches down. And then the last side needs to be connected and stapled as well. So now I'm going to put some staples in there, and you can see if it's going to fit you. I probably made it really to fit a child's head better by putting them 2 inches down. The one that I made for me, I stapled a little bit further up. I did a couple inches down on 2 sides, and then the 3rd side I made only about an inch down. So for a grown-up, you'll want to fit it to your head to see about where to staple it. But once you get your three-cornered hat stapled together, you'll decide on one point to be the front, and then you've got your sides and your back. So now on the sides, you can put your curled hair. Back in those days, they powdered their hair with flour, and they would put as much as 2 pounds of flour in their hair. It got to be very heavy. But anyway, they did have those white curls, and to make that, you'll need strips of paper. These are a little over an inch, maybe 1.5 inches or 2 inches wide. And you'll want to be very careful with the blade of your scissors, but you can just run that paper along the edge of your scissors, just pulling the paper along the blade, and it'll curl it. Let me do that again so you can see. I just lay the paper over the blade of the scissors, and I use my thumb to hold it taut on the blade, and then I just use my other hand to pull the paper, and it curls it up. So I'm going to do that with maybe 10 pieces of paper. Just drape it over and pull. And once you get 10 or 12, that means you'll have 5 or 6 pieces of curly paper to tape to both sides of your hat. So let me do a couple more. I think I did 2 at one time. There we go. Now that might be enough. I can always do more if I need it. But I'm going to put the paper on the inside of the hat. I'm just going to put it up inside there and take a little piece of clear tape. And one little piece is all I need to hold that on. And I'm going to continue to tape all across that side of the hat until I get a full head of hair. And this will look kind of like George Washington or Thomas Jefferson or John Adams. You know, George Washington was our first president, and then John Adams was the second president, and Thomas Jefferson was the third president. All right, that looks pretty good. Let me do the same thing over on one other side. You could put some in the back too. I just didn't do that on my other hat, but you certainly could have curls coming out the back. That would be great. So you'd need to curl up probably another 5 or 6 pieces of paper. And once you get them all taped in, you'll be ready to wear it. Oh, maybe that's enough. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so I've got these 2 sides all curled up and ready to put on. That one doesn't fit me as well as this other one does. Let's see, that's the back. And there you have it. Now you can wear a 3-cornered hat without the curls, but if you want to look like George Washington, the curls are kind of cute. Let me show you some books I have about presidents and President's Day. Monday, the 15th of February this year, is going to be President's Day. And that day is the day we honor all our past and present presidents. This book is written by Rebecca Reisman, and it gives the history of President's Day. There's Barack Obama and George Washington. It tells all kinds of historical facts, and it's an easy read, so it's a good level for our early elementary grades. And then here's one that's a little bit harder. This is a juvenile book, President's Day, honoring the birthdays of Washington and Lincoln. This one is by Mary Wade, and it gives all kinds of information about the wonderful things that George Washington did and Abraham Lincoln to help free our country and to make it the wonderful country it is today. It's got some beautiful pictures in it too. And the reason we have President's Day in February is because George Washington and Abraham Lincoln were both born in February, and they chose a day that lands right between their 2 birthdays to celebrate President's Day. Abraham Lincoln was actually born on February 12th in 1809, and George Washington was born on February 22nd in 1732. So they just picked a day that lands right in between, and we celebrate both their birthdays. And we think about all our past presidents, and like I said, our current presidents too, or president. And this tells about their birthdays and tells about Lincoln and Washington. Talks about how Abraham Lincoln was an honest person. There's even a book here called Honest Abe. Well, on the back it says, Abe's Honest Words. He was known as Honest Abe. And also, he was known for having such a great sense of humor. This one says, Lincoln tells a joke, how laughter saved the president and the country. This one is illustrated by Stacy Enrist, and it's written by Kathleen Krull and Paul Brewer. And of course, Abraham Lincoln was known for practical jokes and telling great stories. He had quite a personality, and he was the one who led us through the Civil War. And then there are some books that are biographies. Here's one, The Many Faces of George Washington. This one is written by Carla McClarity, and it gives all kinds of history about George Washington's life. and the struggles during the Revolutionary War that he went through to free our country from England. And then The Revolutionary John Adams by Cheryl Harness. This tells what a wonderful, brave, and intelligent man John Adams was. He was our second president. And then Thomas Jefferson, written by T.M. Ussel. And this one tells all kinds of interesting facts about what a great inventor and how smart Thomas Jefferson was. And one interesting fact, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams died on the same day. They died on the 50th anniversary of the writing of our Declaration of Independence in 1826, on the 4th of July. They both died on the 4th of July that same year. And of course, Thomas Jefferson was the one who wrote our Declaration of Independence. So it was kind of interesting that he died on the 50th anniversary of that, along with John Adams. Some interesting trivia. Well, I hope you'll come to the library and check out a book. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.